United States has revealed its highly anticipated X-44 Manta II, an aircraft that promises to shatter the limits of aviation. With its next-gen signature reduction, unrivaled speed, and unmatched maneuverability, the Manta II is set to transform the rules of aerial combat completely. What makes this newly upgraded version so powerful, and how will it alter the landscape of modern warfare? What game-changing innovations has the Manta II introduced that could forever shift the balance of power in the sky? Join us as we explore the groundbreaking technology that's set to elevate aerial combat to a whole new level. The Lockheed Martin X-44 Manta broke new ground in jet design and construction. This was not just a small step forward. It was a complete rethinking of flight control. A collective team effort between the National Aeronautics and Space Administration and the United States Air Force developed it. The team tackled an almost impossible challenge, creating an aircraft with no tail surfaces whatsoever, no horizontal stabilizers, no vertical fins, and nothing at the back to help control the plane. Most aircraft rely heavily on these tail surfaces for stability and control. They help planes stay level and make turns. Removing them completely would be like asking someone to ride a bike without handlebars, which is almost impossible. However, what made the X-44 Manta particularly groundbreaking was its reliance on sophisticated three-dimensional thrust vectoring technology for all aspects of attitude control. The aircraft's design was derived from other highly successful aircrafts, but featured significant modifications, most notably a stretched delta wing configuration. The planning documents for the Manta aimed high. They clearly stated they wanted an aircraft that would leap ahead of current aviation technology, so they had to imagine something truly groundbreaking. Hence, Lockheed Martin created the X-44 prototype to showcase a breakthrough idea in how planes fly. A fighter jet that could be controlled completely by directing its engine thrust without using traditional control surfaces like rudders or ailerons. This new design approach offered major benefits that went beyond what engineers initially expected. Without the tail and vertical stabilizers that one would see on normal planes, the X-44 became much harder to detect on radar screens. At first sight, the jet looks less like a traditional fighter jet and more like something from a science fiction blockbuster. This is because the aircraft takes a sleek, triangular form that merges radar evasion and aerodynamic efficiency into a single menacing silhouette. Pilots who first saw the concept drawings described it as threatening and predatory, like a flying weapon rather than a conventional aircraft. They also joked that the X-44 Manta looks like what would happen if an F-22 Raptor and a UFO had a child. It has a sleek fighter jet style mixed with a weird alien spaceship vibe. The smooth, futuristic design and super evasive tracking system show how aerospace tech has evolved, but also how the X-44 totally reimagines what a fighter jet can be. Another important change is the aircraft's blended wing body design, which represents a fundamental shift in the fighter's overall structure. Unlike other jets, where wings, fuselage, and tail exist as distinct components, the Manta's airframe seamlessly integrates these elements. This unified structure dramatically reduces drag while maximizing lift, creating an aircraft that cuts through the air with unprecedented efficiency. Invisibility considerations run through every part of the X-44's design approach. Radar-absorbing materials cover its outer surface, while carefully shaped edges and surface patterns work together to reduce radar signals. These design elements create an aircraft that becomes remarkably difficult for enemy detection systems to find, often appearing no bigger than a bird on radar despite its actual size. The jet's structural innovation extends beyond its design, reaching into the very essence of its material composition. The aircraft's skin and internal components are meticulously crafted from advanced composites, creating a unique fusion of lightweight construction and unparalleled structural integrity. These cutting-edge materials play a very important role in substantially reducing the aircraft's overall weight while concurrently enhancing its durability and fortifying its resistance to the rigors of flight. Instead of relying on conventional control surfaces, the X-44 would achieve yaw, pitch, and roll authority exclusively through advanced thrust vectoring technology. This likely involved modifying the F-22's existing two-dimensional routing nozzles to provide more comprehensive directional control. This approach effectively merged the aircraft's acceleration and control systems into a single integrated system, streamlining the overall design. The delta wing's shape was a smart choice for a few key reasons. First off, it gave the X-44 a new way to deploy. But beyond that, the larger wings meant more room inside for fuel tanks. So the X-44 could carry much more fuel than a normal F-22. This extra range made the plane a lot more flexible and useful from a military perspective. It could fly longer missions that other fighter jets could not. These design features collectively delivered three primary benefits: reduced mechanical complexity through the elimination of conventional control surfaces and their associated hydraulic systems, increased fuel efficiency resulting from improved aerodynamics and reduced weight, and potentially greater agility through the precise application of thrust vectoring for aircraft control. Together, these advantages represented a new vision for the future of military aircraft design. Let us unpack the comparison between the F-22 Raptor and the X-44 Manta to understand their key design differences and unique capabilities. First, the F-22 Raptor, while highly advanced, still follows a fairly conventional fighter jet design. It has traditional control surfaces like flaps on the wings and ailerons towards the wingtips. These are movable parts of the wing that change the airflow to make the jet turn, climb, and descend. Flaps increase lift at slower speeds, like during takeoff and landing, by making the wing's shape more curved. Ailerons help the jet roll by tilting one wing up and the other down. The F-22 combines these standard control surfaces with thrust channeling, the ability to direct the exhaust from its engines. By angling this exhaust, it can help push the nose of the jet up and down or left and right. In tight maneuvers, the F-22 uses its control surfaces to change the airflow over the wings while also using directed engine thrust to help pivot the fighter jet. It is a highly effective combination. In contrast, however, the Manta proposes a radically different approach. It eliminates all forms of airframe control surfaces, no air brake, roll adjusters, or vertical stabilizer. Instead, it relies purely on thrust vectoring for all flight control. If it needs to turn, the jet will point the engines, and if it's climbing, the angle of the thrust will go down. This is a dramatic simplification in mechanical complexity, but a big leap in flight control sophistication. It is like the difference between steering a car by turning the wheel, which is a traditional control, versus steering by varying the power to the left and right wheels individually, which is a vectored thrust. It achieves the same result, changing direction, but in a very different, more advanced way. If successful, the Manta's approach would likely allow for quicker, sharper maneuvers since thrust deploying can pivot the jet very fast. However, it also comes with challenges in terms of complexity, reliability, and the need for extremely advanced flight control software. While the F-22 has great electromagnetic signature management, its vertical and horizontal empennage create points where radar can bounce back, increasing its radar signature. These surfaces are needed for traditional control, but they make the aircraft less stealthy. Therefore, eliminating the empennage on the X-44 would greatly reduce its radar signature. With fewer edges, corners, and gaps, there would be fewer chances for radar waves to reflect enemy sensors, making the X-44 harder to detect in dangerous environments. The F-22 has a typical fuel setup that's limited by its design. In contrast, the X-44 would be a game changer. Its wider delta wing would have more room for fuel, potentially giving it a much longer flight range. Removing the aft control surfaces would also cut down on drag, making the aircraft even more fuel efficient. These design choices would dramatically improve how far the plane could fly. Speed is often the deciding factor in modern air combat, and the X-44 Manta takes this principle to remarkable extremes. Capable of sustained flight well above Mach 3, this aircraft would leave most existing fighter jets, and even certain missiles, trailing far behind in its supersonic wake. What truly distinguishes the X-44 from current generation fighters is its super cruise capability. Unlike conventional fighters that must rely on fuel-hungry afterburners to maintain supersonic speeds, the X-44 can cruise at these high velocities using standard engine power. This provides two critical advantages. It dramatically extends the aircraft's operational range by reducing fuel consumption, and it minimizes the thermal signature that would otherwise make the plane more detectable to heat-seeking systems. The X-44's acceleration characteristics are equally impressive. Its ability to rapidly increase speed and climb to high altitudes quickly provides pilots with a powerful tactical advantage. When confronted with a threat, a pilot could simply outrun or outclimb the danger, effectively turning the aircraft's velocity into a defensive asset. This acceleration profile allows the Manta to evade or outrun interceptions from even the most advanced air defense systems currently deployed. For nations like Russia and China, which have heavily invested in advanced anti-aircraft technologies and take pride in their state-of-the-art defensive systems, the X-44's remarkable speed presents a serious challenge. Defense planners in these countries are left with a tough question. How do they intercept an aircraft that can simply outpace the range of their most advanced systems? The Manta's strategic strike capability builds upon its inherent sensor and speed characteristics. Its ability to penetrate heavily defended airspace undetected, combined with substantial internal weapons capacity, would enable the aircraft to deliver precision-guided munitions against high-value targets deep within enemy territory. This capability transforms the plane from a mere fighter into a strategic asset capable of influencing broader campaign objectives through selective targeting of critical infrastructure or command nodes. The most groundbreaking feature of this aircraft is its integrated electronic warfare capabilities, which represent a quantum leap in modern aerial combat technology. Imagine an aircraft that's not just a weapon platform, but an intelligent system capable of fundamentally altering the battlefield's electronic landscape. At its core, the aircraft's advanced sensor systems act like a sophisticated electronic brain. These systems can rapidly detect, analyze, and respond to enemy electronic emissions. This means that they can listen to the electromagnetic spectrum in ways the previous aircraft could not. By combining cutting-edge computational power with advanced signal processing, the aircraft can do more than just detect enemy radar and communication networks. It can actively interfere with them. This means the aircraft can create an electronic bubble around itself and allied forces. It can jam enemy radar, making it difficult for opponents to track or target friendly aircraft. More impressively, it can disable or mislead enemy communication networks, effectively creating a communication blackout that leaves enemy forces confused and isolated. This is more like an invisible electronic shield that not only protects itself, but also creates advantageous conditions for other allied assets to operate more safely and effectively. Another revolutionary aspect of the X-44 is its multi-domain adaptability. Unlike traditional aircraft that excel in a specific role but compromise in others, the Manta refuses to be constrained by conventional mission profiles. A pilot could potentially engage in air-to-air combat, transition seamlessly to striking ground targets, and simultaneously conduct electronic warfare operations, all within the same sortie. This operational flexibility fundamentally changes the calculus of air campaign planning, as a single aircraft type could potentially fulfill multiple mission requirements that would traditionally require separate, specialized platforms. What truly sets the Manta apart from previous generations of combat aircraft is its sophisticated artificial intelligence integration. This system transcends conventional flight control computers, representing instead a comprehensive AI-driven brain capable of analyzing and responding to complex battlefield situations in real time. The adaptive algorithms at the heart of the Manta's AI system create a learning machine that continuously evolves and improves. Unlike traditional combat aircraft with fixed programming, the X-44's neural networks analyze each engagement, identifying patterns and outcomes to refine future tactical approaches. This creates an aircraft that becomes increasingly effective with each mission, adapting its combat methodology based on accumulated experience rather than remaining static in its capabilities. For pilots operating in high-stress environments, artificial intelligence provides invaluable decision-making support. By processing enormous amounts of sensor data and tactical information instantly, the system delivers critical insights and recommendations that would be impossible for a human mind to generate in comparable timeframes. This significantly reduces the cognitive burden on pilots, allowing them to focus on strategic decisions while the AI manages the overwhelming influx of battlefield information. the system functions as a digital co-pilot, extending human capabilities rather than replacing them. Perhaps the most revolutionary is the automated defense systems integrated with the AI core. When detecting threats, the X-44 can autonomously deploy appropriate countermeasures without waiting for pilot authorization. This might include dispensing flares against heat-seeking missiles, executing evasive maneuvers to avoid radar-guided weapons, or even launching electronic countermeasures to disrupt enemy targeting systems. These automated responses occur at machine speeds measured in milliseconds, often engaging before a human pilot can even register the threat. In modern air combat, speed is key, and the X-44's AI gives it a lightning-fast advantage. It is rumored to react so quickly that human pilots can't even come close. When multiple threats appear in an instant, the Manta can process and respond faster than any human brain ever could. Imagine a dogfight where every millisecond counts. While a human pilot is trying to track and prioritize threats, the jet's computer brain is already calculating the best defensive moves. It can analyze multiple incoming missiles, enemy aircraft positions, and potential escape routes simultaneously. By the time a human pilot makes a single decision, the X-44 has already mapped out a dozen potential responses and chosen the best one. This is not just an advantage, it is a complete game changer. The AI turns the aircraft into something more than a machine. It becomes an ultra-fast, hyper-aware combat system that can think and react faster than any human pilot, giving it a critical edge in the most intense aerial battles. This partnership between human intuition and machine computation creates a combat system greater than the sum of its parts, potentially redefining the nature of air warfare in the 21st century. The emergence of the X-44 casts a long shadow over existing combat aircraft fleets worldwide. Russia's Su-57s and China's J-20s, while representing the pinnacle of these nations' aerospace engineering capabilities, suddenly face a concerning capability gap when compared to an opponent that combines superior speed, enhanced stealth characteristics, and AI-augmented combat systems. For example, the Su-57 is Russia's fifth-generation fighter, designed for air superiority and strike missions. It boasts impressive speed, maneuverability, and stealth capabilities, with advanced avionics and a powerful engine that allows it to perform at high speeds and altitudes. Its multi-role design makes it versatile in both air-to-air and air-to-ground combat. However, despite all the impressive features, it has notable weaknesses. Its stealth features are not as advanced as some of its Western counterparts, like the F-22 or F-35, which makes it potentially more detectable to advanced radar systems. Additionally, the Su-57 has faced delays in development, with production lagging behind initial expectations. There have also been concerns about its engine performance and the effectiveness of its electronic systems in real-world combat conditions. While it's a capable fighter, it still has room for improvement in key areas, such as stealth and avionics reliability. Similarly, the J-20, China's fifth-generation fighter, was built to compete with top-tier fighters like the F-22 and F-35. It is known for its speed and agility. However, the J-20 has some limitations. While impressive, its capabilities are not as advanced as some of its Western rivals, which could make it more detectable by advanced radar systems. There have also been concerns about the fighter's engine performance, as it currently relies on older engines, affecting its overall maneuverability and range. What's even more worrying for potential enemies is the X-44's ability to make current air defense systems practically useless. Modern missile defense systems are built to track and target planes flying at predictable speeds and altitudes. But the X-44's mix of hypersonic speed, low radar visibility, and unpredictable flight patterns creates a challenge these systems weren't designed to handle. This could make billions of dollars worth of defense technology outdated and ineffective against this new type of threat. At the strategic level, the X-44 turns the defense playbook upside down. Imagine going to bed thinking a country's airspace is secure, only to wake up with an enemy aircraft that slipped through undetected. That's the nightmare scenario this aircraft creates. It's like having the world's best home security system, but someone invented a ghost that walks through walls. Suddenly, all those radar installations and anti-aircraft batteries, worth billions, might as well be expensive lawn ornaments. Countries now face a stark choice: spend enormous sums on completely new detection systems or accept that their airspace isn't truly theirs anymore. Military planners who built careers on certain defensive assumptions now find themselves back at square one, scrambling to protect power plants, command centers, and other vital targets from an enemy they might never see coming. This isn't just a military problem, it is a national security earthquake that shakes the very foundation of how countries protect themselves. The impacts go far beyond just military use and into global politics. By having the X-44, the United States gained not only battlefield advantages, but also more influence in international relations. The aircraft serves as both a weapon and a powerful diplomatic tool, changing power dynamics and potentially affecting how countries behave in many international situations beyond just military matters. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.